Climate change is throwing nature's timing out of sync in Africa too. That's quite a headache for farmers trying to grow crops. Improved data could help make African agriculture less vulnerable to its impact. Right, Joy?
That's right, and a German team of scientists is currently working with the West African colleagues in Burkina Faso to install a system that will record the distribution of rainfall across the country. It's based on a mobile communication system and could, for example, help small-scale farmers and rural households in Africa make the most of seasonal rainfall, which they mostly rely on.
The wells are almost empty. The land is parched. For months, farmers have been hoping for rain. Temperatures are currently soaring in Burkina Faso, often exceeding 40 degrees. It's sweltering in the capital, Ouagadougou. Weather patterns are changing, and scientific data on them are scarce. So a team of scientists from Germany and West Africa are researching how much rainfall there is and when it occurs. New state-of-the-art software is designed to help them measure precipitation and supply them with information fast.
Formerly, you could only retrieve the information with weeks or even months delay. And we work on the technique that we have the information with some minutes delay only, and this gives a lot of opportunities in decision making, from urban flooding, from nowcasting of flooding, till decision making in agriculture with little delay.
Further inland, the researchers operate a climate measuring station. The agriculture industry needs data about rainfall so it can plan ahead, from building new dams and irrigation systems to deciding when to plant seeds. The data are collected here at the station.
So all the data is logged onto a computer here, which is pre-processed, and then we send it to a server and we also download it manually.
The data gathered here are useful for determining precipitation. These mobile phone masts are the key to it. Rainfall reduces their signal strength, and there are thousands of them, even in the middle of national parks.
All over the country you find these towers, and all of them are actually precipitation measurement stations. And they are maintained by the cell phone providers, and so most of the costs, so all of the costs are with the cell phone providers. We only use the attenuation data. So for weather services and research purposes, it is actually free of costs.
But the mobile network providers have to cooperate. Telecel is one of the main ones in Burkina Faso. Kunzman and his team need its data, and the company has agreed to cooperate.
Let's say intensity in 5 minutes.
It allows us to identify precipitation levels across the country. In some regions, there's very little rainfall, and more in others. This information helps us shape our agricultural development better.
Thanks to the researchers, farmers are now informed via radio when the rainy season will start. When farmers know rain is coming, they plant rice. In the dry season, they prefer onions.
It's important to know more about the rain, how much is going to fall. Otherwise, the rain will wash away the seeds or rot the vegetables.
Understanding rainfall is crucial to farmers' livelihood. Factoring climate variables into their farming practices helps them improve their harvests.
Did you know that illegal logging is estimated to take place in up to 17% of the forests worldwide? That's according to Germany's Thüringen Institute of Wood Research. In a bid to help stamp out the practice, scientists there have developed a forensic test to identify where timber comes from. Such tools are needed to implement new European legislation designed to eliminate the outlawed trade. The tree detectives can draw on one of the world's largest wood collections to help classify their samples. Our reporter explains how the globe's woodlands might benefit.
It's a comfortable perch. But this rainforest in Ghana is in danger. Tropical wood is in demand. It's exported all over the world, and that means to Germany as well.
Sapele is one of the main kinds of wood Africa exports. It was often used as a substitute for genuine mahogany. The color and properties are similar. You can use it in construction, to make expensive window frames, for example, or parquet flooring. It's very widely used. It's one of the most popular kinds of African wood here right now.
The Thunen Institute of Wood Research in Hamburg has a huge collection of different species of wood, 12,000 in all. Gerald Koch tests samples of timber imported to Germany, comparing them to the Institute's collection. His job is to identify endangered species and illegal imports.
We're known as the wood detectives. We have new cases every day.
These samples are being softened up. They're sent in by government agencies, merchants and consumers who want the detectives to find out if their wood has been properly identified, labelled and sourced. Sometimes musical instruments are sent in. After the samples have soaked in water, fine slivers are shaved off for analysis. Gerald Koch can recognize many different species of wood by now, but to be 100% sure, he needs to look at the samples under the microscope. If a product declaration is not correct, that can be a punishable offense. Koch compares the anatomical structure of incoming samples to that of items in the Institute's collection. He says they've never failed to identify a species of wood. Tougher controls on imports in recent years mean more timber is now correctly labelled, but between 10 and 20% still comes with false declarations.
Problems are more common with wood that's been processed, engineered wood, plywood, and the product declarations on garden furniture are often wrong too. We then recommend further provenance research.
It was possible to prove that this piece of mahogany had been stolen. Bernd Degen develops the tools to do so. New samples of African mahogany have just arrived, reference material for gene tests of trees. The genetic identification of timber allows Degen and his colleagues to determine where it comes from.
What we need for genetic analysis is the raw material collected where it actually grew. These samples are part of that. Reference material for the identification of wood samples, in this case wood from Central Africa.
Later on, DNA is isolated from bark and leaves. There are genetic differences between trees of the same species in different locations.
We create a map with our genetic analyses. We correlate the genetics and the countries of origin, if all goes well.
Then false declarations won't wash anymore. You can no longer claim a piece of wood comes from Cameroon if genetic analysis proves it comes from Ghana. A fail-safe method and great new tool in the fight against the illegal lumber trade.
The damage is not just to the environment, but also to the economy of these countries. Their tax yield is reduced if trees are felled in uncontrolled fashion.
The wood detectives have one goal: to boost the sustainable management of tropical forests. Trees should only be felled if new ones will spring up in their place.